There was an EV misinformation leaflet put out by the big boys a few months ago, and I ripped it to pieces. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Just kidding. This information initiative provides update. Auto Trader alongside Charge UK and the SMMT. Now, why are the SMMT getting involved? What the has it got to do with them? What's it got to do with Auto Trader? Charge UK, yeah, I can understand it. Auto Trader represent ICE sellers too. The SMMT represents ICE sellers too. Well, let's just say that over the past 12 months, they've managed to get certain information wrong, and they've also managed to incur a massive fine for doing stuff that they shouldn't do. So they can fuck right off, in my opinion. Auto Trader, alongside Charge UK and the SMMT, has shared an update on an initiative combating EV misinformation. Well, I would say it's not combating. I would say it's the very opposite. It's creating it. Here we go. Auto Trader, alongside Charge UK and the Society of Motor Manufacturing and Traders, SMMT, has shared an update on their initiative combating misinformation surrounding electric vehicles, EV. The collection of user-friendly, simplified facts that offer a balanced and data-backed view of the reality of owning and driving electric cars has been updated from the launch version released in November 2024. Updates include potential annual savings evolving to include all running costs, maintenance, insurance, fuel, which now jumps to £1,500 per year. Well, what's that on? The number of ultra-rapid chargers is now 16,259, up from 15,109. Whoopee. It's up 1,100. The upfront price difference between new electric and petrol cars dropping from around 33% last year to 22% in May. 33 brand new electric vehicles with recommended retail prices under 30,000 compared to 29. How many? I don't know the answer to this, and this could be wrong. So there we go. So there's 150 plus petrol new ICE vehicles that are priced between 25 to 30,000. So there's 33 of them. Additionally, the British Vehicle Rental Leasing Association, Cox Automotive Europe and EV Drivers Association, EVA England, have committed to champion the initiative by promoting to their audiences, enabling the facts to be seen by even more consumers and retailers. They joined ZapMap and the National Franchise Dealer Association as champions of the initiative. These facts clarify points such as how electric cars are greener, are no more likely to catch fire than an ICE car, and that the electric range and charging point availability is better than some might think. Now, I wouldn't argue with that last bit, but the rest of it's bullshit. The data points will be regularly reviewed and updated, with new versions issued when required. This information is endorsed by the Department of Transport. Now this is it. What's EV pricing like? So electric cars, 9 in 10 EV drivers never look back. Rubbish. Absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish. You go onto sites like CarWow here, look, 25 plate, 25 plate, 25 plate. Some of them are less than a few weeks old. 100 miles, 310 miles, 100 miles. So rubbish. What's EV pricing like? 2 in 5 used electric cars under 20,000. Fuel type electric, 26550. Search. What was it again? Under £20,000. So filter and search. Price 20,000. I mean, it's going to be right, this. 11,049 divided by 26,550%. 2 in 5, so 41%, so that's right. So petrol and diesel, used vehicles, 340,696, and then under 20,000, under 20,000, 264,242, 264,242 divided by 340,696% equals, so 77.5% of used ICE cars are under £20,000. 11,049 divided by 264,242% equals, there's only 4% of the cars under £20,000 that are EVs. So 4% of all the cars on Auto Trader that are under £20,000 are EVs. Will my EV battery last? Yes. Data suggests you should expect your EV to last as long as an ICE car. Getting EVs repaired is getting easier with the increasing number of skilled technicians available. Well, I've just read this and that says exactly the opposite. They're a garage that have got a good number of EVs in. Why we're losing confidence in main dealer support for EVs. At anycolourcar.com, we've proudly supported the shift to electric vehicles as forward-thinking independent dealership serving Barnsley and South Yorkshire. We've invested in EV training, EV sales and EV servicing, all with the belief that electric is the future. But that future is now being undermined by a very real problem: the shocking lack of support from main dealers when something goes wrong. Over the past year, we've experienced 4 separate electric vehicle warranty cases that have left both us and our customers frustrated, out of pocket and losing confidence in the process. The reality of EV warranty repairs: these weren't minor issues. Each case involved manufacturer-backed warranty claims, meaning we couldn't step in ourselves without voiding that cover, and each one turned into a nightmare. One car waited 2 months just to get a diagnosis appointment. Another sat for 2 months before a repair was even started. A third is still unresolved to this day. No communication, no clarity. And in the worst case, a Volkswagen dealer kept the vehicle for over 6 months only to return it damaged. These delays haven't just caused inconvenience. As a business, we've incurred over £8,000 in direct costs, lost time, lost revenue, courtesy vehicles, and the costs of managing upset customers. But perhaps worse still is the damage done to the customer experience. Our customers who trusted us and spent their hard-earned money have faced weeks and months of inconvenience, uncertainty and unnecessary expense. You know, straight from the horse's mouth. I've looked at their site, all 5-star reviews. People who tell lies don't get 5-star reviews. Will my battery last as long as an EV? Well, we've found out a few other problems just recently. One of my videos a few weeks ago, I couldn't understand why a car with 10,000 miles was in the auction with a Duff battery. It was only 12 months old. And when I phoned up the dealer, the first thing he said was, has it had its 3,000 mile service? If not, warranty is null and void. So you can have a 7-year warranty, you can have a 10-year warranty, but it all depends on servicing. And if you go over that service schedule, then no warranty claims. That's it, you've had it. Battery goes. But it's not just that. I mean, all these cars that have been pre-registered and like hidden for a couple of years, or not sold for a couple of years, or sold to people like Car Supermarket. Vauxhall sold a load of cars to Car Supermarket. Corsa Electric, search cars. We'll go down to, we'll try and find the relevance is stupid. The ad blocker for Auto Traders stopped working, no doubt due to something Auto Trader have done. I don't blame them, don't get me wrong, I understand it. But then they should understand that people like me can't stand to see stupid information that we didn't request. If I put in, I want the most recent cars, like I just done, I don't want to see one that was advertised on the 22nd of the 1st, 2025, when it's the 2nd of July. See? Is that too much to ask? So, most recent advert, the first one, most recent, was advertised on the 22nd, Back to the Future. And then as we go down, you see another one there, an ad. Not interested. Ad, you may also like, let's see if I can find the car, supermarkets, cars, because they'll be going back now. Got all these Arnold Clark ones. Oh, there you go, there's one, car supermarket. So that car supermarket one, like new. Well, yeah, of course, it should be like new, shouldn't it? But all these cars, all these brand new used EVs that are being sold to places like the car supermarket, do you think when they're still in stock, do you think they'll pay when they're losing money to have their EV serviced? Because I don't. So in future, loads of time bombs. You'll go and buy it, could be 3 years down the line, could be 4 years, could be 5 years. Your battery goes. And you go to the dealer and you say, I'm sorry, missed its first service. Right? So beware, if you're going to buy one, will my battery last? Well, there's plenty of vehicles that have needed new batteries. Also, it's not a case whether it's going to be covered by repair, because if you damage it, why do you think these vehicles are in the auction that still have a warranty on the battery? Why do you think Arnold Clark's put a vehicle in? Why do you think Cinch put 3 vehicles in last month? At least 3. Why do you think that is? Why do you think they didn't just... I mean, Arnold Clark, they've got a load of main dealers, haven't they? Why didn't they just have it done at one of their main dealers? Because it's not covered, because no doubt the battery's damaged. No doubt somebody's gone over something. I've said in previous videos, the amount of times we've taken a car in and the sill's been damaged, or you get it on the ramp and underneath has been blooming stoved in by a rock or something, or that they've gone over, or the amount of times I've got a video on here, a crowbar was in the middle of the motorway, the car in front hit it, it shot up and I could see it coming to land on my car, and I did this on the motorway, 70 mile an hour, and I'm driving like that. My dash cam recorded it hitting the bonnet, then hitting the screen. How it didn't break the screen, I'll never ever know. It must have been going up at the same angle and didn't actually hit the screen at the same time. But what about the car that flipped it up? Bang, bang, bang underneath a crowbar. If that was an electric battery, what could that have done? Will my EV battery last? What can I expect from a full charge? The average range of a new EV is more than 290 miles. Well, it is, but not in an emergency. Okay? Said before, I was at work in Manchester. I got a call from Blackpool Victoria Hospital. Your mum's going to die. I had to stop on the way and put enough petrol in to get me to Blackpool, and then off. EV. Would I have been able to do that in an EV? No, I wouldn't. So what can I expect from a full charge? You can't expect to get a full charge as and when you want it for a start. In an emergency, well, they recommend keep going on, and it's in, people say, oh no, you don't do that. Well, that's what it says in the handbook. And also, the more you charge to the top, the more it damages your battery. So what do you want? Do you want it to keep range, or are you going to adhere to the manufacturer's instructions? Because now, hopefully, when my volt test unit comes, that will tell you when it's been fast charged and the damage to the battery. So 290 miles, but it's not 290 miles because they tell you only to charge to 80%. So 290 times 80% equals, so that's 232 miles. 232 miles. 20%, 290 times 20% equals 58. So 232 minus 58 equals. So you've got a range of 174 miles really. That's if you've just charged up to 80%. Are EVs greener? Typically, an EV emits just 1/3 of the harmful greenhouse gases of a petrol car during its lifetime. How many miles does an EV have to do before it becomes cleaner than an ICE vehicle? Great question. Carbon break-even point depends on factors like the carbon intensity of the electricity used to build and charge the EV, the size of the EV battery, which greatly affects manufacturing emissions, how efficient the EV and the ICE vehicle are in real-world driving. As a rule of thumb, most reputable studies find in Europe or the UK with relatively low carbon electricity, an average EV typically breaks even after 15,000 to 30,000 miles, 24,000 to 48,000 kilometres, compared to an equivalent petrol or diesel car. In countries with dirty grids, lots of coal like Poland or parts of China, where we import EVs from to get clean air, the EVs are made with dirty grids. Like we didn't know, but like we just gloss over it. And all our, Autotrader and Andy Pandy and, China Boy from the clown intelligence unfit, the break-even can extend to 40,000 to 60,000 miles, 65,000 to 100,000 kilometres or more. For larger EVs, SUVs or pickups with big batteries, 70 kilowatt hours, the higher manufacturing emissions mean break-even can push towards 50,000 miles, 80,000 kilometres. Sources supporting this: ICCT, International Council on Clean Transportation, 2021, report median break-even in Europe, 25,000 miles. European Environment Agency, EVs become lower emitting than ICE over 1.5 to 2.5 years of typical driving, 20 to 30,000 miles. MIT Energy Initiative found EVs with large batteries may take up to 50,000 miles to offset higher production emissions, especially with high carbon electricity. Key takeaway for most UK or EU drivers, 20 to 30,000 miles is a realistic break-even range, but it varies substantially with driving habits, local grid carbon intensity and vehicle type. Autotrader, electric cars. But what we'll do now, we'll just sort, we'll knock the new off, 2025. Up to 50,000. There's 26,557 used EVs. 23,920 of them have done less than 50,000 miles. 23,920 divided by 26,557% equals 90%. 90% of used EVs on Autotrader, if you take it at 50,000 miles, 90% of EVs, used EVs on Autotrader, haven't reached the carbon break-even point. 90%. Let's do 30,000 miles. Let's, 30,000 miles. So that's 19,483. 19,483 divided by 26,557% equals 73% at 30,000 miles. 73%. They still owe us clean air because those EVs aren't greener, are they? You've seen it with your own eyes. Do I need to worry about fire risks? EVs are less likely to catch fire than ICE cars. When they do catch fire, they take 10 times more water to put them out. And not only do they take 10 times more water, they emit toxic fumes. The gas off them can kill you, cause irreparable lung damage. In a confined space, there is no putting them out. Do I need to worry about fire risks? When was the last time you saw a message come up on your dashboard that says, high volt battery, risk of fire, safely park and exit vehicle now, contact emergency responders? When was the last time you saw that come up on your ICE car? Yeah? Oh, okay. When was the last time your Mercedes exploded outside your house and stopped you getting out the front door because of the flames? When was the last time you were towing something and then your vehicle just burst into flames? When was the last time you were in Spain in an underground car park, you were manoeuvring and you just caught another car and your Porsche burst into flames? The fire brigade came, 2 firemen got killed trying to put it out, and 1 had to go to hospital for treatment. You EV people and these people talk through your backside. Oh, Paz, you're always doing things from ages ago. June the 29th, July the 2nd we are, June the 29th, a Tesla Cybertruck towing a wood chipper ignited a half-acre grass fire in southwestern Colorado, prompting a multi-agency response and renewing discussions about electric vehicle EV safety during heavy-duty tasks. The incident, reported by KKTV, occurred on private land near Norwood, highlighting potential risks for EV owners and operators in rural settings. Do I need to worry about fire risks? Yes, you do. My recommendation to you is all these people who are telling you to charge overnight, and again, I have an Octopus Energy affiliate link in my description. If you change your electricity using my link, I will get £50 and you will get £50. I want you to do it, but I don't want you to charge overnight. I don't want you to get an EV tariff where you get cheap charging overnight. Get the best tariff for during the day. Charge it during the day while your family are awake, while you can see your car out the window. Still not foolproof. I mean, all these Porsche Taycans, they've been told to park the vehicle away. They've been withdrawn from sale. Porsche dealers told to immediately remove select electric Taycan models from sale. Porsche dealers issued a bulletin by head office to halt the sale of some used Taycan models. Porsche GB confirms some cars have been pulled from sale as they await a software update. Car manufacturer says this relates to a small batch of cars. Some Porsche dealers issued confusing updates saying all Taycans had been pulled. The problem is believed to relate to the ARB6 recall, which was issued in November by the DVSA. The reason for that recall, according to the DVSA, was a short circuit within the battery modules during the vehicle's service life cannot be ruled out under certain circumstances, which could lead to thermal events and later to a fire in the vehicle. So, forgive me, but how is a software update going to stop a short circuit? Yeah? Software updates, short circuit. It's going to stop 2 things touching or 2 things coming into contact and causing a short circuit. How's a software? It's not, is it? It's not. Do I need to worry about fire risks? EVs are less likely to catch fire than cars, but boy, when they do, smoking, bang. How much time do you think? Imagine you're driving down the motorway doing 70 miles an hour. Doris, can you smell smoke? Bang! Do I need to worry about fire risk? Yes, you do. All the time. Wherever your family's concerned, wherever you park, whenever you get hit something, whenever you think you've run over something, well, as soon as you run over something, you're told to park it up and call an expert or whatever. So I've left the best one till last, because this one is like Jackanory. What about running costs? Save up to £1,500 a year. Oh, who does this? What was it? Auto Trader alongside Charge UK. So what about running costs? Save up to £1,500 a year. Fleet News, 2nd of June, 1 month ago today. Used electric vehicle prices dropped below petrol and diesel. Demand for used petrol and diesel cars fell year on year by 0.5% and by 9.7% respectively on Auto Trader in May. The average cost of a used electric vehicle, £24,370, fell by 7.4% year on year, while petrol and diesel car prices grew 0.5% year on year and 2%. Diesels went up 2%. You know, diesel, the devil's fuel. The disparity is even more pronounced with 3 to 5 year old cars, with electric models at this age dropping by 11.6% versus a 3.1% and 2.4% growth for used petrol and diesel vehicles. As a result, a 3 to 5 year old electric car is currently cheaper, £18,266, than a petrol of the same age, £18,731. But the thing is, they cost more new as well. How can you save 1,000? We'll go back to the climate disinformation unit, who say you can save £2,600 on an Audi e-tron. So we go to, I'll just reset, clear all, electric cars, Audi e-tron, search 508 cars, and we'll go again, relevance, we'll go to most recent, search 508 cars there, most recent, and then you'll see there we've got quite a few from Arnold Clark there, but let's get to the bottom. We're only here, advertised 1st to the 4th, listed 13th to the 5th, down 4,000 in 2 months. 1st to the 4th, down 2,700. 1st to the 4th, down 2,000 quid. Down 2,100, down 2,500, down 3,500. Now, as I say, that report, it was either in October or November. If we go back, this one, 24th of the 3rd, 2025, down £6,669, down 11,200, down 14,000, down 12,000, down 15,000, down 16,916. What about running costs? Rubbish! And you know what? That's not the worst thing, because the people that are telling you this, all this, save £1,500 a year, will my battery last? What can I expect from a full? Are EVs greener? This is, look, BVRLA. Who are these? Happy EV After is a joint campaign by BVRLA, Auto Trader, EVA England, NFDA. Do those names ring any bells? Let's see what they have to say. After they've finished telling you that new EVs are costly and lose value far faster than petrol or diesel, over the last 24 months, used EV values have dropped by more than 50%. An unprecedented decline. Values are expected to fall another 28% by 2030. We face a crisis. We face a dark and stormy future looms unless we act fast. We need intervention to boost demand in the used EV market, secure a fairy tale ending, and achieve our climate goals for the future generations. 1. Launch a public information campaign. 2. Implement standardised battery health certification. 3. Provide grants for used EVs. Do you know why they want grants for used EVs? Because all these lot have used EVs and they're losing money hand over fist. So they want the taxpayer to bail them out because they can't value fucking cars. That's what it turns out. Auto Trader have a valuation system. All right? They're telling you on Auto Trader and the dealers how much the car's worth. But yet, they can't value EVs. Because when they come back off lease, they're all losing a fortune. Grants for EVs. Cut VAT on used EVs for 4 years. Reduce benefit in kind on used EVs for 4 years. Open used EV salary sacrifice to the civil service. Oh. Hang on a second. Used EV prices are so cheap now that everybody can afford them. It's a really good thing. You know, used EV cheap. Hang on, you complain they're too dear and then you complain they're too cheap. Well, in the car trade, that's a bad thing. If they're too dear and they hold the price, that's a good thing. That's great. It's great for everybody. If they're too dear and then they drop like a stone when they're used, who is going to buy them new? Nobody in the right mind, except these brainwashed idiots that keep tweeting me. So, not my words. This is the BVRLA and the happy EV afters. Why are falling used EV values bad? It's a good deal if you want a used EV, but if you want a new one, it's going to cost you more and in the long run is unsustainable. They said it, not me. Shout at them. It can't be that bad. This sounds like an industry problem. Used EV values have plummeted while petrol and diesel remain stable. Boosting demand for used EVs is essential. Still, why is that a problem? Let people buy cheaper and cheaper used EVs. Every used EV starts as a new one. Stable lease rates for new EVs rely on stable residual values. Slumping values mean higher lease rates and fewer new EVs hitting the UK market. So everyone must be buying used EVs. There are great deals, but demand must match the incoming supply tidal wave, and there is no sign it will. Surely the market will solve this. Forecast shows residual values dropping all the way to 2030 and beyond. There is a systematic weakness in demand. The difference between an EV's purchase price and expected depreciation is the key element of any monthly lease cost. EVs are depreciating much faster. A 36-month-old EV retains only 35% of its price, while petrol vehicles retain over 50%. Steeper depreciation leads to higher monthly cost. Used EV supply will double to 100,000 in just 2 years, and demand will need to keep pace. There is no sign of this happening. EV values are expected to drop another 28% from 2024 to 2030. That's what they're actually thinking. This is what they're saying. This is what they're telling you. That is misinformation. Okay? That's misinformation. Let's just go further. Use the MP tool. So here we go. This is the letter they want you to write to your MP on their behalf. The used electric vehicle EV market is in crisis. A major supply-demand imbalance means that used EV prices have been falling continuously for nearly 2 years and have fallen by 50%, while good for second-hand buyers. This massive unpredictable depreciation threatens the motor finance industry's ability to continue providing affordable lease rates on new EVs. Well, yeah, you should lease it. You should lease it. They're taking a bath. On the next page, the government needs to intervene. The government needs to intervene. Now, the government have made this ZEV mandate. They've intervened. They're the ones that have caused the problem. To restore balance to the automotive market and safeguard the transition to zero-emission motoring, on the next page you will see a pre-written message asking your MP to support the Happy EV After campaign. You will have the opportunity to edit the message before clicking send to email it to your MP. Find my MP. Mark Hendrick. Useless. Absolutely useless. They've already created this. Look, send. So you put it in, Preston, your first name, your email and so on, and you send this letter. I write to you as a constituent concerned about support for a used battery electric vehicle BEV market in the UK. The used BEV market underpins the affordability of new BEVs through financing, as well as where the majority of average Britain's access vehicle registrations of new BEVs are on an upward trajectory, led by the fleet and leasing sectors and pushed by the government's zero emissions mandate. However, while most new vehicles are bought by businesses, the majority of UK customers only buy on the used market. Those buyers currently have no support to make the shift to BEVs, creating a chasm between supply, which is due to increase by 178% by 2028, and demand. The gap has put values of second-hand BEVs under pressure, seeing them fall 50% over the last 2 years and forecast to fall a further 28% by 2030. This leaves the automotive supply chain to absorb the heavy financial impact of incentivising that demand. Well, no, it doesn't. What it leads is, if you have a leasing company and you're charging less for your product that it costs you, that's stupid. But they wouldn't sell otherwise. Nobody would buy an EV if they were priced correctly and if the leases were calculated correctly. You couldn't afford to. It would be stupid. It's stupid anyway, but... So this is what they're thinking. This is what they're doing behind your backs. This is what they're telling you to your face. Electric cars, save up to £1,500 a year. That pales into insignificance as to what you lose. And the inconvenience. All that is rubbish. In my opinion, all that is rubbish. That's what they're telling you to your face, behind your back. The trade papers, used electric vehicle prices drop below petrol and diesel. So how can you save £1,500 when your vehicle's dropping? How can they say this? How can they ask you to write to your MP and tell you all this? Fairy tale or failure. New EVs are costly and lose value far faster than petrol or diesel. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Just kidding. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Ta-da.